Let's play a game. Close your eyes and picture a bus driver. What do you see? Did you see this or this? We may not even know why, but each of us is biased towards a picture of a bus driver. Now imagine you're trying to teach a computer about the bus drivers. You might end up passing the same bias onto the computer. At the end of the day, machines are trained by humans and they might resonate how you and I think. This is how biases enter in an AI model. When you go on the internet to Google about biases in AI, you will find a lot of them. Let's go through some of them to understand the concept behind biases. Number 1 is interaction bias. Interaction bias happens when humans influence AI systems, often without realizing and sometimes even on purpose. For example, when people deliberately try to teach bad language to an AI model, that comes under interaction bias. Another example is the game we played at the beginning of the video. Most people picture bus driver as this and not this. And imagine when we try to teach the same to the computers, they will also end up with the bias. Second is association bias. This happens when data is labeled based on stereotypes. For example, when we search for toys for girls, we get an endless list of cooking toys, dolls, princesses, all of them in pink color. And when we search for toys for boys, we see superhero, action figures, construction sets, and video games. Another one is latent bias. Say that you're training a computer to learn about successful CEOs. If you give all the pictures of males and do not give any pictures of the females, the algorithm will end up with a latent bias skewing towards men. Then comes survival bias. Sometimes the algorithm focuses on the results of those who were selected or those who went through a certain process and exclude the ones which were not selected. Example, we often hear about successful companies like Amazon or Apple and assume starting a business is a great way to become wealthy. However, we rarely hear about the countless startups that fail because they don't survive long enough to share the stories. The bias that is focusing only on the winners distorts the actual risk of entrepreneurship. Next one is confirmation bias, which influences how people consume and interpret information, often reinforcing stereotypes. For example, streaming platforms recommend movies or shows based on viewing history. If someone has mostly watched romantic comedies, the algorithm is likely to keep recommending similar genres while ignoring action or sci-fi options. This enforces the idea that the person might not like other genres, even though they might enjoy if exposed to it. So these are the different types of biases that exist in AI. You can think of multiple examples once you get the concept. Remember that AI models are trained by humans. Even with good intentions, it's impossible to separate ourselves from the biases that we carry. There are multiple ways on how biases enter an AI system. Let's understand some of them. First one is assumption. When humans decide that they want to make a system, they think about how it should function, what data it should carry, and what purpose it should solve, including the decisions of where to take the data from. These assumptions aren't usually made with bad intentions, but as humans, it's hard to predict what somebody else might go through or being able to think about other people's experiences or how this system can impact others. For example, an image recognition model assumes that using a large dataset will ensure fairness. Even if the dataset is large, but if it is predominantly containing lighter skinned faces, the model will perform poorly on dark skinned individuals as it hasn't learned to recognize them properly. Another reason is training. AI models learn from the training data, so it's very easy for the bias in our data to enter into an AI system. For example, if a company historically hires from the same universities, the same programs, or along the same gender lines, a hiring AI system will conclude and learn that those are the best candidates. The system will not be able to recommend candidates that do not match these criteria. Directly modifying training data significantly influences how a model performs and can either reduce or introduce bias. This might involve removing low quality or overrepresented data points or excluding specific factors like age or race. Alternatively, choosing not to modify the data could also allow existing biases to persist depending on the context. Next up is the lack of the human in the loop approach. The stakeholders in any AI system should be able to give feedback on the recommendations an AI system provides. This can be implicit. Let's say the AI model recommends a product to the customer and they do not buy it, and it could be explicit where the customer is giving a positive feedback on the recommendations provided by an AI model. As an example, according to GDPR, EU citizens must be able to correct incorrect information a company has about them and ask that company to delete their data. Even if not required by law, this is best practice as it ensures the AI system is making recommendations based on accurate data and is ensuring customer trust. So we've covered the various types of biases, how they enter into the system, and now let's talk about the most challenging part: how to manage the risk that biases bring in the system. There is no quick fix to completely debias the training data. Addressing exclusion is both a social and a technical challenge. Along with modifying the data, the development team needs to take proactive measures to plan and build the AI systems effectively. Let's talk about some of the ways on how these biases can be removed. Number one is pre-mortem. It is exactly the opposite of post-mortem. A pre-mortem assumes that the project has already failed and the team is requested to find out the reasons why. A study at Harvard Business Review suggests that one of the reasons projects often fail is because people hesitate to voice their concerns during the planning phase. During a pre-mortem, team members independently list potential causes of failure, including issues they would normally hesitate to share. These reasons are then discussed, recorded, and analyzed to improve the project plan. The process not only uncovers risks but also empowers team members to contribute their expertise and prepares them to recognize early warning signs of trouble. Second approach is to identify the excluded or overrepresented factors in the dataset. This starts by analyzing the social, demographic, and cultural factors in the dataset. For example, clinical trials often predominantly include participants from higher income countries or specific ethnic groups, example white males, leading to treatments that may not work that effectively for underrepresented populations such as women or people of different ethnicities. Or let's take another example. Public infrastructure like transit systems or recreational spaces are often designed to meet the needs of urban working-age adults, overlooking accessibility requirements for senior citizens, children, or people with disabilities. Identifying the excluded or overrepresented factors in the dataset is crucial to make sure that the AI model is fair and accurate. As a solution, the dataset should contain people and characteristics from diverse backgrounds so that it doesn't only cater to few sections of the society. The third approach is to regularly evaluate the training data. Developing an AI system starts with addressing data quality issues early, such as handling extreme, duplicates, outliers, and redundancies. Before releasing a model, thorough pre-release trials are essential to ensure it doesn't make biased predictions or harm users, with testing across diverse communities to avoid unexpected issues. Post-release, regularly monitor the data the system learns from and the recommendation it generates, as data relevance diminishes over time. Algorithms may identify unintended patterns, and cultural shifts could misalign outputs with community values. To address this, implement effective community review processes involving affected groups and provide mechanisms for users to opt out or correct data about themselves. Additionally, collaborate with those managing the system to ensure it meets organizational goals, and use user research to better understand the tool's real-world context. Hope this video helped you to understand how biases appear in AI systems and what you can do as the development team to ensure that these biases are taken care of, and understand ways how you can remove biases from the AI systems. If you want to understand how AI models understand or process natural language, you can watch this video I made earlier. Here, I talk about how LLMs are able to understand the prompts and give appropriate responses. I will see you in the next video. Until then, take care and bye-bye.